MotoGP history was made at the Jerez circuit. On a tense Sunday afternoon, Alex Marquez finally achieved his first victory in the Premier class, creating an emotional moment after 5 years of chasing his dream in the world's most prestigious motorcycle racing event. The 2025 Spanish Grand Prix was also a tale of contrasts, with Alex celebrating on the top step of the podium while his older brother Marc Marquez suffered a tragedy on the track, crashing out of contention for the lead and having to settle for scoring points from 12th on a badly damaged Ducati. What happened to Marc Marquez at the 2025 Spanish Grand Prix? Let's discuss it. The flag was raised under the bright Jerez skies to the cheers of tens of thousands of fans. Fabio Quartararo made a perfect start from pole position and maintained his advantage into turn 1, with Pecco and Marc Marquez immediately in pursuit. However, Marc had a less than ideal start. He dropped back to third position and was immediately involved in a fierce duel with teammate Bagnaia. Alex Marquez, who started from the front row, also had to be careful in this high-pressure race. There was a near miss in turn 6 when he braked hard and almost hit the factory Ducati duo in front of him. Marc, known for his aggression, tried to retaliate. He threw his bike to the inside of turn 7, challenging his own teammate. The duel continued until turn 11, with the two exchanging positions in a test of courage in front of a breathless crowd. Meanwhile, Quartararo continued to maintain his lead at the front, consistently posting lap after lap, but the shadow of the Ducati continued to threaten from behind. On the third lap, there was a big drama that changed the course of the race. Marc Marquez, who had been aggressive from the start, attempted a maneuver to overtake his own brother, Alex Marquez, in turn 7. Unfortunately, the attempt ended in tragedy. Marquez lost grip on the front tire of his bike and crashed hard into the gravel, leaving the Jerez crowd in stunned silence. The local hero, who had been expected to lift the trophy on home soil, was knocked out early. But as usual, Marc showed his extraordinary fighting spirit. He tried to get up with burning determination. He dragged his badly damaged bike back onto the track, even though the damage to his Ducati GP25 was clearly visible and very severe. Although the chance of victory was gone, his hard fight to keep going earned the respect of the crowd. A long round of applause echoed through the grandstands, paying tribute to the courage and boundless determination of a true champion. The incident opened up a huge opportunity for Alex Marquez, who was now leading the race without the pressure of his older brother. After the incident, Alex, who had dropped to 5th position, immediately got back on his feet. He overtook Bagnaia with a brilliant maneuver in the final corner of the 4th lap, and then shifted his full focus to chasing down Quartararo. Lap after lap, Alex closed the gap. At the beginning of the 11th lap, at the crucial moment, he made a decisive move, overtaking Quartararo in turn 1 with full confidence. There was no significant resistance from Quartararo. Once past the Yamaha rider, Alex immediately opened up a lead of almost a second, then extended it to over 2 seconds before finally closing the gap on the final lap to secure this historic victory. Alex Marquez finished 1.561 seconds ahead of Quartararo to give Gresini Racing its first victory since Marc Marquez at Phillip Island last year. Behind Alex, an equally fierce battle took place. Fabio Quartararo showed extraordinary resilience and proved that he was not finished yet. After losing the lead in the early stages of the race, Quartararo had to desperately defend against the constant pressure of Pecco, who was always lurking behind him. Bagnaia, with his aggressive riding style, tried several ways to overtake. He pushed in every corner, attacked at different braking points, and kept looking for the slightest gap. But Quartararo was very solid. With extraordinary composure, he was able to maintain a perfect racing line and deny Bagnaia any opportunity to attack. This was one of Quartararo's best performances since the 2023 season and brought back memories of his golden days. In the end, Quartararo was able to hold on to second place, ending a long podium drought that had lasted since the 2023 Indonesian Grand Prix. It was an emotional moment that marked an important turning point in his career. Meanwhile, Pecco had to settle for third place. Although disappointed not to have won, the Italian rider took home valuable points. He is still on track for the World Championship title, just 20 points behind the leader of the standings. With a long way to go in the season, Bagnaia's chances of turning things around are still wide open. The battle at the front was not the only interesting spectacle of the race. Behind the podium trio, Maverick Vinales, now riding for Tech 3 KTM, put in an impressive performance. On several occasions he was close on the heels of the race leaders, even threatening the top 3 positions before having to settle for 4th. Fabio Di Giannantonio, now riding for VR46 Ducati, showed his consistency throughout the race and managed to secure 5th place, keeping the pressure on the riders behind him. Meanwhile, Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta, two mainstays of the KTM camp, also put in solid performances, finishing 6th and 7th respectively to ensure KTM's strong presence in the front group. Talented rookie Ai Ogura from Japan was the highlight of the day. Defending the Trackhouse Racing banner, Ogura performed confidently and was the best Aprilia rider of the day with an 8th place finish. In 9th, Enea Bastianini showed his toughness by bringing another KTM into the top 5 dominance, adding to the long list of advantages for the Austrian manufacturer. Meanwhile, Luca Marini managed to save Honda's face by finishing 10th after a hard battle throughout the race. Sadly, his teammate Joan Mir was forced to retire from the race after a crash on lap 15 while battling hard for the top 6, adding to Honda's bitter history this weekend. In the tough and unforgiving world of racing, only a few riders are able to show true toughness when faced with tough tests. One of them is Marc Marquez. Despite coming off a serious crash that shook the confidence of many, Marquez proved once again that the spirit of a true champion never fades. With a physical condition that was far from perfect, and riding a Ducati GP25 that was also full of wounds from the incident, Marc still chose to fight again on the track. He refused to give up. He refused to give in to the pain. Each lap was not only a battle against his rivals, but also a battle against his own limits. The climax of his struggle came at the most crucial moment, the last corner of the last lap. With extraordinary courage and keen racing instinct, Marquez pulled off an almost impossible maneuver. He overtook Alex Rins when everyone thought his position was secure, and with this dramatic action he managed to secure 12th place. The result was not just a number on the scoreboard. His efforts put him just 1 point behind Alex Marquez in the championship standings, keeping the competition for the title fierce. For Marc, this was more than just a race. This was proof that even when injured, a true hero can still stand, fight and inspire the millions of eyes watching. Several riders had a tough day at the Jerez circuit. Alex Espargaro could only finish 14th, but his troubles were not over. He is now under investigation for improper tire pressure, which could cost him valuable points. Meanwhile, Marco Bezzecchi, now riding for Aprilia, had to settle for 15th place. He lost a lot of positions after making a mistake in turn 1 on the second lap, which ended his chances of fighting for the lead early on. A similar fate befell Gresini's Fermin Aldeguer and VR46 Franco Morbidelli. Both crashed and fell and were unable to continue the race. On the other hand, Jack Miller of Pramac Ducati also failed to finish the race. He was forced to retire early due to technical problems with his bike. Somkiat Chantra of LCR Honda added his name to the list of victims. The Thai rider had to retire early due to problems with his arm pump, a physical problem that prevented him from maintaining maximum performance. With his historic victory, Alex Marquez has now moved to the top of the standings, just 1 point ahead of his older brother Marc Marquez. This sibling rivalry has only added to the excitement of the title race. Meanwhile, Pecco Bagnaia remains a serious threat, still in the hunt for the title despite being 20 points behind the leader. How does the competition between Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez look after this race? Write your thoughts below.